Hi guys, welcome back to Finpact. Today we're looking at Hedera and its ticker is Hbar. Bitcoin pioneered decentralized infrastructure, Ethereum pioneered programmability. But earlier proof-of-work blockchains consume massive amounts of energy. They take ages for transactions to get processed on the blockchain network. They had heavy bandwidth consumption, which can lead to expensive fees. As we know, Ethereum fees are incredibly high. If you want to even send $50 worth of Ethereum across the network, sometimes the fees can be more than what you're sending across. So Hedera is a proof-of-stake public network, and it's powered by the Hashgraph consensus. So it has the highest security possible, fast transaction speeds, and low bandwidth consumption. So what this means is that through the Hashgraph consensus, you can get high throughput, low fees, and finality within seconds. But the Hedera Hashgraph system is not your typical blockchain. It's a distributed ledger. The Hedera Hashgraph was created in 2017 by computer scientist Leemon Baird. And since 2018, the Hedera Hashgraph raised $124 million worth from sales from its Hedera Hbar token. And this sale was through a simple agreement of future tokens offerings called a SAFT. Initially, it was launched as a private network, but Hedera plans to let more and more entities join its network. And then it was finally made public on a later date. I'm really incredibly bullish on Hedera, and I want to show you their website and their partnerships and how their consensus mechanism works. But before we go into this video, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you get informed on when I release a video. And guys, of course, the crypto market has been bleeding. There has been so much negative news that has impacted the market. First of all, Russia has proposed a ban on crypto mining. The Federal Reserve in the US have been launching a stimulus to regulate cryptocurrencies, which has sent the market in turmoil, but I think this is a good thing. And then, of course, China fully banned cryptocurrency. So a lot has happened, but needless to say, I am bullish on the long-term potential of what blockchain, DeFi, and cryptos have to offer. So let's take a look at Bitcoin's price and the rainbow chart to give us an indicator that this is not over. And then we'll jump straight into Hedera. So currently, Bitcoin's price is $36,725. This has been down. As you can see the chart, we've seen a major crash, kind of similar to the one we saw in March, but it's not been completely there to the low points of March yet. And here's where we are on the Bitcoin rainbow chart. So if you take a look, this is Bitcoin's price from all the bull runs connected into this chart, aggregated using a logarithmic scale. So if you see in 2013, this is when we saw the crashes, when it exceeded the bubble territory. So just to show you, the red is when we're reaching bubble territory. That's when you're meant to sell. You guys, I've always said this on this channel, that when the price rallies happen, when Bitcoin is reaching all-time highs and then other altcoins are following suit, you sell. And then usually this is the point I sell at before it reaches bubble territory. When I see huge rallies up, I don't like to take the risk here because that's when major crashes happen, as you can see. And then we had a bear market, and then of course around the blue region, that's when it's a fire sale, that's when everyone's fearful, but actually that's the point you buy because you're getting those cryptos at dirt cheap levels to where the potential can go. So if we take a look at where we're at, so we saw the rally up in around March, and then we saw a crash, and then we're seeing another rally up and a crash. But if you look at it, we haven't reached bubble territory just yet, and we haven't reached a complete bear period either. So what this could mean is that we still are due another rally up, since most bull runs last longer than previous bull runs, or the bearish period tends to be a shorter amount of time. So let's take a look at Hbar's price as well. So Hedera's price is currently at 20 cents, around that region, and its all-time high reached almost a high of around 50 cents. I think this is severely undervalued given their fundamentals and the kind of partnerships they have. So let's jump into their website to show you what I mean, and then I'll go into the consensus mechanism behind it. So the thing about Hedera is that they're aiming to be decentralized governance at a scale. What they are launching is something that solves a lot of the problems we have in the crypto industry today. As I mentioned earlier, when bandwidth is too high and we have high fees and slow transactions, well, Hedera is solving those issues, which essentially solves our limitations in scaling crypto and making it mass adopted. If you just look at the number of organizations that use Hedera's Hashgraph consensus, look at the names. We have Boeing, we have Chainlink, we have Google, IBM, Standard Bank, huge names here. And we have renowned universities. We have LSE. I studied at LSE. We have UCL. Renowned organizations are using Hedera and building their platforms and their projects on top of their network. So the thing is, Hedera is the most used enterprise-grade public network. And that's the thing, it's energy efficient, it's fast, it's a choice. People want to build their projects on top of the network. You could think Hedera as third generation. So if you think of Bitcoin as first generation, Ethereum as second. So if you look at the transactions per second, Bitcoin is 3, just about above 3. Ethereum is usually 12 to 30 transactions per second, whereas Hedera, more than 10,000 transactions per second. That's fundamental in letting it become enterprise grade, because if a lot of companies are building and using the network, you don't want it to get too congested. You want there to be enough capacity so that these organizations can build their projects on top of it, whilst others can also do the same without the network getting over congested. The fees, just take a look at the fees. The average Bitcoin fee is $22.57, $19.55 for Ethereum. I don't know what Ethereum network they're using, but I've had sometimes Ethereum fees of like $50, but that's when it's super congested. Whereas look at this, 0.001 cent for Hedera. And the confirmation on the blockchain is faster. If you've ever sent any Bitcoin across, it takes a while when the different blockchain confirmations take place. It takes 10 to 60 minutes, which can be so annoying if you need a transaction immediately. Ethereum is a lot quicker. Whenever I use Ethereum, okay, it's within a minute or two, 10 to 20 seconds. I don't know where they're getting that from. Okay, sometimes that happens when the network is not so congested. Whereas the finality for Hedera is 3 to 5 seconds. And just take a look at the amount of energy used per transaction. This is 885 plus kilowatts per hour, and this one is 102 plus kilowatts per hour, and then this one 0.00017 kilowatts per hour. Now here's some of the services that they provide, and then I'm going to jump into the use cases. Imagine you have a business and you use Hedera yourself. There is so much optionality with their network. So they have a token service, so you can mint and manage fungible and non-fungible tokens on Hedera for application payments, governance, digital collectibles. So you have your NFT functionality as well as tokenization. And then we've got the consensus service. And this is that sort of equivalent of their blockchain. So this is their network, the public network that they have. And this is where you can have verifiable, fairly ordered event logs for any application. This can apply for healthcare services, it's going to apply for banking when they want to verify all the data on the transaction and have it. So when those things are validated on the network, you can track your assets on the supply chain. There's a sort of framework, like a ledger, where you can go through all the different parts of the transaction. Nothing can ever be missed. You can check it on their network, on their hash graphs. So you can look at things like supply chain, what's been going through, what intellectual property rights there are, different identity credentials that you need that you might have not missed. This is a way you can organize them within the network. So yeah, they also have a smart contract service where you can deploy smart contracts, different languages, using Solidity and Viper. So those are different programming languages, and you can create your dApps and protocols on there. So basically it's developer friendly as well. So by the way, guys, the way the consensus service works is that so that you can ensure all the computers that are in a distributed network, essentially you need them to all agree on the transaction history. And the Hedera Hashgraph consensus service basically uses the Hashgraph consensus mechanism, and this is powered by two types of nodes. The first is the consensus, and the consensus nodes determine transaction ordering and history. And the second node is the mirror node, which relays the information from the consensus node to all the stakeholders in the network. And let's just take a look at the kind of services they have offered to large corporations. So mutable events, which is where people can manage and verify information. So for example, IBM would use the platform to plug it in to have auditable transaction ordering. And then Coupon Bureau has been able to use it to fight $100 million worth of annual retail, that word, I don't know if I can say that because of monetization in the US. And whereas if we look at tokenized assets, for example, so the NFTs as well, you can look at Infinite by Sucoup can bring NFTs to bridge physical and digital goods. Toko by DLA Piper provides a platform for tokenized assets. There's a lot of optionality. Let me just jump into some of the use cases there are. There's options for everyone. Take a look at this one. ASOA provides open source solutions for pharma, life sciences to improve transparency and efficiency. So they have used Hedera. Agrio, on the other hand, they have a farming loan platform and they use Hedera smart contract and consensus service to provide transparent and verifiable lending process. This can revolutionize every industry out there. Almost every majority of industry requires security, require verifiable information, and they require the information to be transmitted in fast speeds. So Hedera gives that option to pretty much everyone. You know, you have Everywhere that uses it as an asset monitoring provider. Gomin can allow anyone to tokenize and monetize digital content. Basically, Hedera is your one-stop shop with everything related to DeFi, crypto, and building dApps on top of the Hedera Hashgraph, whilst still ensuring that everything is verifiable. There's high security, there's high transaction speeds. There is so much, and a lot of it combats the limitations we've seen in other cryptocurrencies. And take a look at their Twitter, 205,000 followers, and they have been touted the world's greenest cryptocurrency. And of course, their smart contract service allows you to build decentralized applications and protocols with scale through the Solidity smart contracts. So a lot of developers can flock here, a lot of enterprises can flock here. They can tailor what Hedera has to offer to what they need as a business, to what they need as an entity, and then accordingly deploy that value out into the world. Price predictions, it's hard to say given what's happening in the markets right now. But if we're in a bull run and Hedera continues making the moves it has been, I do think in the long term, perhaps in the next bull run when we see the huge rallies up, if we saw a 50-cent price all-time high, then it's not uncommon to see 5x to 10x returns in peak bull runs. Obviously not right now with where we're at in the market, but that's only temporary. I think you guys know this. If you've been in crypto long enough, you know these crashes, they only last a couple of months. And even if we enter a bear period, it's only temporary because there's always going to be a bull run again. Whether this one has ended or not, we don't yet know. And I'm hoping, according to the rainbow chart, that we are nowhere near ending just yet. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Hedera, and are you guys bullish on it? What do you think the price could head to? And also, how low could the price go given that we are in a bit of a bearish sentiment right now? And guys, do you think the bull run is still ongoing? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing everything you guys have to say. Give me your kind of recommendations that you want me to film, and I will get onto that. And anyway, guys, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure you do your own research before you invest in anything. And don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button and that bell notification. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!